Hi everyone and welcome to this crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful handmade cushion cover using granny squares. This project is perfect for adding a personal touch to your home or even as a thoughtful gift. You can customize the size, colors and patterns to suit your style. Let's get started. To create this cushion, you'll need enough granny squares to cover one side of your cushion cover. I made 16 African flower squares, but feel free to use any pattern you like. You could even just use one large square. If you have extra squares laying around, this project is a great way to put them to use. In this video, I'll show you how I joined my granny squares and then how I turned them into a cushion cover, so have your squares ready. After joining them, measure their finished piece to pick a cover that fits, or use one you already have. The final crocheted square is then sewn onto the cover. To start off, I'll start by showing you how I joined my granny squares. To make it easier for you to see what I'm doing, I'll be using green yarn for this demonstration. On my cushion, I use the same beige color as the outer edge of my squares, but if you'd like to add contrast between the squares, you can choose a different color. You can join your squares the same way I'm going to show you, or choose a different method that you prefer. It's completely up to you. Make sure the yarn you use to join the squares is the same thickness as the yarn you used for the squares themselves. I crocheted my squares with a 4mm hook, so I'll continue using a 4mm hook for joining them. Begin by making a slip knot with the yarn you'll use to join the squares. Then, set it aside. Place 2 granny squares on top of each other with the wrong sides facing each other. This means the backs of the squares should be touching and the front sides should be facing outward. On my squares, I have a chain 3 space in each corner. This can vary depending on the pattern you're using, but don't worry, you can just adjust it to fit your squares. To join the squares, we'll only be working through the back loop of the chains. Start with your first square and insert your hook into the first chain of the corner space. Be sure to only go through the back loop of the chain. Next, do the same with the second square. Insert your hook into the back loop of the first chain in the corner. Now, you should have 2 loops on your hook. Take the slip knot you made earlier and place it on your hook. Tighten it and pull it through the 2 loops on your hook. Next, insert your hook into the back loop of the second chain in the chain 3 space. Then do the same for the second square. Insert your hook into the back loop of its second chain. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Make sure the wrong sides of both squares are still facing each other, with the yarn underneath and between them. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. This completes your first joined stitch. Now, continue by inserting your hook into the back loop of the last chain in the chain space, and then into the back loop of the chain in the second square. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Don't forget to tighten the yarn at the beginning. After finishing the chain 3 space or the number of chains you had in your corner, you'll continue working with the double crochet stitches. For each double crochet stitch, insert your hook into the back loop of the chain in the first square, then into the back loop of the chain in the second square. Yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on your hook. One more time, insert your hook into the back loop of the chain in the first square, then into the back loop of the chain in the second square. Yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on your hook. Now, just repeat the process and I'll meet you at the end of the square. Now I'm at the end of the square, finishing my last double crochet stitch. We've now reached the other corner, which also has a chain 3 space. Since we'll be attaching another square later, you won't work into all 3 chains here, only the first 2. And then leaving the last chain unworked. If your corner has a chain 2 space instead, you'd work into the first chain and leave the second one unworked. Here's what it should look like when you have finished joining the first 2 squares. Now we're ready to add more squares. Grab 2 more squares and make sure their wrong sides are facing each other. In this corner, we have another chain 3 space. To attach the new squares, leave 1 chain unworked. Start by working into the back loop of the second chain in the chain 3 space, leaving the first chain unworked. Do the same for the second square. Insert your hook into the back loop of the second chain in its chain 3 space, leaving the first chain unworked. If your corner has a chain 2 space, you will also leave the first chain unworked and work into the second one. The reason we leave some chains unworked is to ensure there are approximately the same number of chains available when joining the sides of the squares. This helps create a more even result. Remember to keep the yarn underneath and between the squares as you work. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. Insert your hook into the back loop of the chains on each square, yarn over and pull through the loops. Repeat this process until you reach the end of the squares. Now I've reached the end of the squares and I'm completing the last double crochet stitch. You can add as many squares as you like, but when you're ready to finish, make sure to work through all 3 chains in the chain 3 space at the corner, just like we did at the start. No chains will be left unworked here. Once finished, cut the yarn and pull it through. Here's how it will look after joining the squares along the first side. Now that we have crocheted the squares together upwards, we'll do the same along the side. Start by making a slip knot and setting it aside. Grab the squares and ensure the yarn is underneath them. We'll begin joining them at the chain 3 space. Start with the first square. Insert your hook into the back loop of the first chain in the chain 3 space. Then do the same for the second square. Insert your hook into the back loop of the first chain in the chain 3 space. Grab your slip knot, place it on the hook, tighten it and pull it through both loops on your hook. Next, insert your hook into the back loop of the second chain on both squares. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Don't forget to tighten the yarn at the start. From here, insert your hook into the back loop of each chain, yarn over and pull through the loops. Repeat this process until you reach the end of the squares. And once again, remember to keep the yarn underneath the squares as you work. So here you can see that I'm approaching the end of the squares. I only have 2 double crochets and 1 chain left to work into on both sides. The chains are the ones we left unworked earlier. I'll continue by working into my remaining double crochet stitches. When you're near the point where the squares meet, it can be a little tricky to grab the yarn because you need to keep it underneath the joined area. This creates less space to work with, but if you gently pull the yarn up to form a small loop, it becomes much easier. Now I'll go into the back loop of the unworked chains. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the loops. At this point we'll cross over where we already joined the squares. To do this, simply chain 1. Since I'll now continue working on the next set of squares, I'm pulling the loop back down to ensure the yarn stays underneath where I'm working. Start by working into the unworked chains. There should be 1 on each side that we left unworked earlier. As before, insert your hook into the back loop of the chains on both squares, yarn over and pull through the loops. This creates a clean and seamless cross over the joined area. From here, just keep repeating the pattern until you reach the end of the row. When you reach the end, you'll finish the same way as we joined the other side of the squares. Work into all the chains in the chain 3 space. Don't leave any unworked. Once you're done, cut the yarn and pull it through. At this point, all the sides should be joined, and this is how it should look. Now, all that's left is to weave in the loose ends. Once that's done, I'll show you how to transform it into a cushion cover. Now that you've connected all your granny squares, you've created a new square. Mine is a 4x4 square. That's 16 squares in total. You'll need a cushion cover that's roughly the same size as your finished square. For example, I measured mine to be around 48 centimeters on each side, so I used a 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters cushion cover since that was very close in size. I also chose a color that matched the outer edge of my squares, but you can pick any color you like. Next, place your joined square on top of the cushion cover. I use sewing pins to hold it in place so it doesn't shift while sewing. Insert the pins through the crochet piece, then through the cushion cover, and finally back into the crochet piece. Repeat this process around the entire cover. Make sure that when you sew the side with the cushion opening, you don't sew the entire edge shut. Sew only along the edge where the crochet piece is attached. Be careful not to sew into the back part of the cushion cover, as this will seal the opening shut. As you can see, I used a sewing machine to sew the pieces together, and here my mother demonstrates the process. If you don't have a sewing machine or prefer not to use one, hand sewing works just as well. It might take a bit longer, but the result is just as beautiful. Continue sewing along the edge until all sides are attached. Once you're finished, simply cut the thread and secure it. Now, your crocheted cushion cover is complete. One side is decorated with the crochet piece, while the other side remains plain. All that's left is to insert the cushion. Just look how beautiful it is. What do you think of this cushion? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. And I'll see you in the next video.